why does it make you so emotional? Is it because you and I don't know if you feel this, but you kind of, there are cases that you cover where you get a real connection with the victim's family, and I had that covering the deaths of those 4 young kids at Oatlands, the Abdullah kids and their cousin, and you know, you went out every day for a week.
And those people, they let you into their house, didn't they? They were people amazing, weren't they?
Yeah, they were beautiful people, and because of that, you feel that connection. And you know, I remember
I remember seeing you out there.
Yeah, we did the first date out there together.
Yeah, you were on. Weren't you at the Mail out?
Yeah, I was at the Daily Mail.
No, and I was. Yeah,
you were here. It was that.
I didn't realise you got that close to.
Yeah, and then you go to the funeral, and I kind of felt like I'd lost someone I knew.
Yeah.
And you know, as crazy as it may seem, is that how it was with Anita? And obviously, it's also having that connection with John.
It's more that. I don't think anyway, as I said, crack up now. But so John and I, I'll be really honest. John was protected. No one knew where he was, who he was. He'd changed his name, and a year later, after the case, the race to find the penultimate Cobby story was on. It's a horrible thing to say. I know if Cobby was on the front, the paper circulation would skyrocket.
Wow.
It was just, Sydney was just, anyway. Through a dubious, dodgy means, somebody at the paper had found out how John had changed his name. He bribed somebody at basically the Department of Main Roads is what we call the licensing. Found him, knocked on his door. He wasn't home, his mother was. Left a card. He has rung me, because I was on the phone, shat himself. He said, how the fuck did you find me? What are you doing? You know, how do you know my real name? I said, mate, you got to talk to me, otherwise, you know, people will be on your doorstep. He said, who else knows? I said, no one now. It was a bit, I basically blackmailed him, in a way.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. But we did this story with John, never used his real name, didn't show his face, and it was massive. And unbeknownst to me, I'm living at Bondi, John, he's living at Bronte, but through that series of stories I did with him, we became quite close because I wouldn't print certain things. And then I ran into him about 10 years later, as I said, on Bronte Beach, and we connected, and we'd run into each other. And I'd never written a book, and I'd say to him, what about the book? And he goes, no, not dancing on her grave, not dancing on her grave. And the 30th anniversary came around, and he said, you know what? There was some memorial going. He said, I'm sick of these people having memorials for Anita. And her parents were both dead by then. He said, I think we write the book. And so, yeah, and during the course of writing the book, John poured everything out, you know. And, yeah, that's it, yeah.
That must have been really hard for him, going through, not only losing your wife, but going through what they were clearly going through together before it. Like you mentioned before, the blame that you'd put on yourself.
The weekend before they were together, talking about getting together. And he said, it's still my fault. I go, mate, it's 5 fucking animals' fault. It's got nothing to do with you, he said. I should have been there. And like, to this day, John will still blame himself. You know, and he got a job. Remember, his name is John Francis, not John Cobby. And he was a nurse, and he got a job at Long Bay Jail as a nurse. And I said, you were going to kill him, weren't you? He said, no, it's just because it was close to home. I said, bullshit, John. Subconsciously, he said, well, he says he still has this dream where he walks into a courtroom and sprays them dead with a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah, wow.
You know. And then we wrote the book, and I was allowed access to the file, and that's when I saw the photos. And I read the autopsy in full, and I'd covered it so extensively, and I thought I knew so much.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the human toll.